This Week in Agribusiness. Our special Christmas edition of This Week in Agribusiness is brought to you by Case IH. Welcome back to the special edition of This Week in Agribusiness, continuing our tradition of visiting churches at Christmas time. And we now, for the second part of our broadcast, head some 300 miles to the southwest of Columbus, Indiana, Perry County, Missouri, to the St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church at Silver Lake, Missouri. And the Zoller boys are joining us here. Mike and Bob, it's great to have you with us to tell us the history of this church. And you both grew up right here, didn't you, Mike?
Absolutely, yeah. Welcome to Silver Lake.
Well, thank you. Silver Lake, explain why it is called Silver Lake. There is a lake.
There is a lake, and there's a lot of springs that come out of the lake, and the springs, part of what feeds Perryville in water, the county seat for Perry County. And in the springs, it has a silver color. If you get over the springs and look down in them, it has a silver tint to it. So that's where the name came from, Silver Lake.
Was there a report that they were mining here at one time out of that lake area?
In the hills, we always call the hills on the north side of Silver Lake area the mining hills. In the 1870s, 1880s, there was mining going on there, all hand-dug mines.
Bob, I looked on the map, and Silver Lake, Missouri shows up on the map, but there's not too much here, is there?
No, that's very small. Back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, we had a blacksmith shop and a feed mill. We had two different feed mills here. An old store also was just across the road from the church here, so that was kind of the Silver Lake community. Then was just the church has always been the hub of our community. Everybody congregated at the church, and all the events everybody attended, so that was how everybody kept in touch with each other, was going to church.
I was walking around the outside of the building. I saw the lightning rods up there atop the roof, and it just reminded me that many of these houses of worship, this old, have had some kind of a calamity along the way. Was there one of those here for St. Rose of Lima, Mike?
Absolutely. In 1936, there was a fire. The story goes they expect that it was a bird picked up a cigarette butt and put it up in its nest in the rafters or in the eaves, and that started the fire, and it completely ruined the inside of the church. The stones were still standing, but the church had to be completely redone.
I walked around the outside, as I said, and I looked at those stones. They've been rehabbed over the years. There's been tuck pointing done here at some point, right?
I expect that was the original when they rebuilt in 39. They started having services again in here, and I expect that tuck pointing goes all the way back to then.
As I look around, there are beautiful trees here. When you guys were boys, did you bring in real trees?
Yes, at Christmas time, that was the big thing. We had groups. We would all go out, my dad and my brothers and others from the church, and that was the big thing, to go out and cut down the cedar trees and bring them in. We'd have 5 or 6, like 6-foot trees, and had wooden stands. He'd trim them to fit in the stands and put them up where the nativity is here in church now, and decorated. Then that was a big event, decorating for Christmas.
A big group event just with your family alone,
yes.
Was it not, Bob? A big family.
Yes,
how many
we
kids?
had 9 children in our family, and several of the families in the community were large families, and everybody came to help decorate the church, and all the events was well attended. All of the families participated, and it was just a good community thing.
The nativity scenes are beautiful here, Mike. There's one right over your shoulders, behind you there. That one appears to have some history to it. It looks like it's been around a while.
It's been before either of us know of. I'm not sure how old that it is, but we can remember 60 years, so it's older than that.
No worship services are held here on a regular basis, correct?
Unfortunately, in 2014, we lost our Sunday services. So now we just have weddings and funerals and about half a dozen services a year besides that.
Boy, those are important yet, though, aren't they? You know, you think about the milestones of life, and you still observe those here.
That's for sure, yeah. This church means so much to us that grew up here, and you know, we're trying to preserve it, and we're proud of it, and we've got such a legacy that the people before us left that we want to make sure that we do our part.
Bob, we noticed nativity scenes in the windows. Those are nice as well. That's an effort of one
Yes,
of your
one of our
friends.
parishioners that owns all of them, and she comes in and they set them all up, and each one is different in each window, and they're all very beautiful.
They are quite nice. Mike, whenever the church tour takes place here, that night, I guess it must be an exciting time for you to welcome folks in.
Absolutely. It's funny how people come from so far away, and people that are tied to the church in some way or another, that come from other states even, and tell us their ties to Silver Lake and when they was in this church before.
The two of you, you've really brightened up our Christmas season by sharing the story here of Rose of Lima Catholic Church at Silver Lake, Missouri. I hope I get to come back sometime. Nice to visit with you both. Thank you, Mike and Bob.
Thank
Thank you, and glad you came.
We'll continue our special edition of This Week in Agribusiness with another stop right here in Perry County, Missouri, as we continue after this.
Well, Merry Christmas, one and all, from mine to yours, your family, and one and all across the country. Make it a great and safe holiday season, and all the best wishes for a happy and healthy and safe 2024.